Meanwhile, incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta has responded, saying there is no law compelling the electoral body to consult Odinga.
Where is the legal requirement that Raila Odinga must be consulted? Eh? Where is it? Now you want to guide even the process of the election.
Well, Gabriel Muthuma is a political analyst. He joins us live here in our Nairobi studios with more insight on the latest developments in Kenya. Gabriel, how significant is this deadlock over the election date, and could it derail the polls considering the tight deadlines we now have?
Thanks for having me. Number one, it's quite significant. I mean, the court ruled and gave a very stern ruling. I mean, that's what they said. You have to do another repeat of the election within 60 days. Now, I think what the electoral body, IEBC, has taken into cognizance is that you have the students sitting for their national examinations during around that time. And you may recall the CS, Cabinet Secretary for Education, wrote to IEBC asking them whether they could work around the timing so that the kids' exams, and it goes for a whole month, is not interrupted. So I think IEBC, which is the electoral body, took that into cognizance, and they want to ensure that, you know, they play around they play within those timelines. But constitutionally, they have 60 days under which they have to call. And by the way, the president is right when he says they are not supposed to be given a forewarning. Really, I mean, it's a constitutional mandate given to IEBC, the only electoral body allowed to do the elections in this country. And so they get that, you know, they get that area where they can say, this is the time we are calling for this election. And by the way, they've gone ahead to do that, and they've already gazetted those dates. So it's actually, I don't want to say it's written in, on stone, but 17th of October, that's when everybody's going for the elections.
All right. So now looking ahead, knowing what we know, what does this mean now for both the electoral body and the candidates?
Now, I mean, like I've told you, having gazetted the date, all right, and looking in, I mean, taking everything into consideration, what they are telling, both candidates have been advised. The others who had actually reigned for, you know, the other candidates have actually been removed. I don't know whether that's constitutional or not, but the IEBC gets to make that final decision. And guess what? I've heard, you know, today that one of the candidates has actually moved to court. I don't know whether that will interfere. We have to wait and see. But from where I'm seated, it's actually, you know, I don't think there's going to be any imbalance created because IEBC have already gazetted the date. So everybody must be prepared to go into an election on October 17th.
And maybe it's a moot point, but is there any possibility, looking at all possibilities, is there any chance that Kenyans will not be going to the ballot box on that date, and what would that mean?
Is there a possibility? To be honest, could be on the 17th. It can be pushed, it can be brought forward. But remember, the 60 days is a constitutional alignment. If we go past the 60 days, as the judges in the Supreme Court gave the condition, guess what? We've already induced a constitutional crisis, and we don't want to get there. So we can talk about that date changing or not changing. The 17th can actually be adjusted, as far as I know. I mean, even though we are talking about a special gazette notice, but tell you what, 60 days, it has to be within 60 days. That's a constitutional guarantee.
All right, Gabriel, thank you very much for those insights. Gabriel Muthuma, who is a political analyst, joining us here in studio as Kenya prepares to go back to the ballot box on October the 17th.